1 minute.
Oh, yeah. I can literally smell the creeping, perving, low-life trash bags from this building right now. Oh my God. Yeah, you can literally smell them. They're hanging out on a street corner. You can also hear them. Yep, they're all loitering over there. This disgusting, perving, sex offender, psycho trash. Mm-hmm. It's too bad. Too bad for them. They try very hard to come at me and it never works because you can literally smell them a mile away. It stinks. It smells like bad BO covered up with some kind of cheap body spray and marijuana. And I can hear some voices. And they're always gathering around the doorways of this building complex because they know that people have to walk by them to get to the door. And they're basically forcing you to interact with them when they know that they have no other chance in hell of ever having anything to do with you. No, my legs are kind of tired. I'm going to just have a seat here for a few minutes. Literally, like, my knees are killing me. It's like 11:30 p.m. on a Thursday. What the hell are these creeps doing loitering around on the street corner? I mean, don't they have any chairs in their single room occupancy units or in their prison cells or in their perving, creeping chambers? So it needs to be noted that over the last few years, the Greenville Group has chosen to switch their business model to renting large numbers of, not renting, because that implies that somebody's actually paying the rent. No, these lowlifes don't pay the rent. The government pays the rent for them because they're either inappropriate candidates for prison housing, or they just got out of prison, or they're about to go to prison. So someone else is paying the rent. So the Greenville Group is not renting to these people. They're cramming large numbers of involuntarily celibate, mentally disturbed, behaviorally dysregulated, psycho trash, male career thugs in their building complex to the point where the building complex is almost entirely sex offender, perving, creeping, psycho trash career thugs that don't work. They don't have jobs. They spend most of their time standing around on the street corners, loitering, disrupting their neighborhood, harassing people who walk by, smoking weed publicly, drinking publicly. They're basically just a bunch of low-life scumbags who hate stock women who don't want to have anything to do with them. They have a problem with me because A, I'm the only Caucasian female living in that building complex, as far as I can tell, or at least in my building. There might be like one or two other Caucasian females elsewhere. And B, they think that any female who lives in that building owes them special favors. That's how stupid they are. They don't see you as a separate human being that has a life that will never have anything to do with theirs. They see you as some sort of accessory that they should have access to. That's how these sick and twisted rejects view women. They don't see women, they see boobs, essentially. Just too bad. Sounds like a lot of beer bottles. Maybe vodka bottles. They're still there. I've been literally sitting here for 20 minutes. It's unreal. Yep, just loitering on the sidewalk, hoping to get a chance to shove themselves up against women who walk by, literally. They stand in the middle of the sidewalk and then you have to squeeze past them. So let's get one thing straight. I like men, not in excessive quantities and for irrational reasons. I like men. I mean, I have a good relationship with men in general. They don't scare me. I'm not worried about them. I feel comfortable around men who are intelligent, sane, and normal and respectful and can stay in their own lane. I mean, what's there not to like? Intelligent, successful, normal, respectful, functional men are great to be around. They're fine, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with them. I mean, I'm not interested in dating large numbers of them, but as people, they're great, right? Like, there's so many functional, normal, good-looking, respectful guys out there. I have no problem with them. Hardworking family men, like my brother-in-law, patriarchal, fathers of the family, like my dad, like my sister's father-in-law, like my uncles, those are great men. I've always loved great men. My cousins are all wonderful family men, very good fathers and husbands for those of them who aren't divorced. But these psycho pigs, these perving, creeping, wanking psycho rejects that the Greenville Group crams in large numbers in their building complex because they just love the sex offender filth. They're disgusting pieces of trash who can't stay in their own lane and refuse to leave women alone. And children, too. They have issues with children. I've had 2 pedophile sex offender neighbors jammed into Unit 88 next to mine over the last few years, and they're just disgusting pieces of psycho trash. Filth, absolute trash. They should go jump off a cliff or move to Mars. That'd be nice. Then they can leave the women and children of this planet alone, and nobody has to worry about not being safe around these pieces of shit. Let me name some names. Mark Collins, level 3 registered sex offender. Michael Collins, also a sex offender. Jason DaCosta, pedophile. Psycho, perving, creeping pedophile. Loves little girls. There's also Jasmine Irizarry, another registered sex offender, level 3, last time I checked. Charles Thomas, a sex offender who can't leave women alone. He's a malignant psycho pig. They just can't stay in their own lane. Robert McLean, the godfather of all the psycho pervs in this building complex. I have a funny feeling Robert McLean of the Greenville Group, an employee of the Greenville Group, had something to do with the murder of Karina Holmer back in 1997. Just a strange, funny feeling. Robert McLean had something to do with the murder of Karina Holmer in the Fenway neighborhood of Boston back in 1997 or 1996. I'm going to say this again. I have a funny, very unsettled feeling, very persistent, instinctive gut feeling that Robert McLean, employee of the Greenville Group, who is now in his, mid-70s, late 70s, had something to do with the murder of Karina Holmer in the Fenway neighborhood of Boston in 1996. It's one of those thorn under the skin. I am not sure where this is coming from, but it keeps really nagging me for no reason, kind of gut feelings that experience has shown me I should probably pay attention to, right? It's kind of like that funny feeling like you should, lock your door before you leave, even though you're leaving for maybe 15 minutes. And then you realize there was a robbery in the neighborhood or something, that kind of funny feeling. 52 years of life on this planet has shown me I should trust my funny feelings when they keep popping up and popping up and popping up in the same exact manner all the time. So I'm going to say this again. Robert McLean, employee of the Greenville Group, likely had something to do with the murder of Karina Holmer in the Fenway area of Boston in 1996. Just a funny, strange feeling that's been nagging me for years. And the more I'm around Mr. McLean and the large numbers of sex offender, women-hating, psycho stalker filth that he and his cohorts, Mr. Oleg Aleseyev and the Kritnik family, cram in large numbers in this building complex, the more I realize the funny, nagging, persistent, instinctive gut feeling I keep having about Robert McLean of the Greenville Group having had something to do with the murder of Karina Holmer in the Fenway neighborhood of Boston in 1996 might not be so far off base. Mr. McLean has been encouraging violence and aggression towards me for years, along with Mr. Oleg Aleseyev, by flat out lying to the many male tenants of this building complex that I am a hooker. I've never been a hooker. I've never even come close to being a hooker. But to these psycho sex offenders, women-hating psycho trash, any female who lives alone and is single and has a job is a hooker, because they're involuntarily celibate rejects who hate women. So automatically, if you're single and you're not available to them like they think you should be, then you're a hooker. It's the equivalent of writing down somebody's phone number on the bathroom wall so that everybody calls it just to harass them. This is what Mr. McLean and Robert McLean and Oleg Aleseyev had been doing to me for years, flat out lying to the police around the corner, to the male tenants of their building complex, to their attorneys, making comments in front of me to their attorneys that they think I'm a hooker. They have my employment history. They know I worked as a research scientist for 18 years. They know I've been working intermittently in education, psychology, and retail for the last, 6-7 years now, since getting out of science. They have access to all of my employment records. They know that I pay my rent out of my paychecks. They have seen my paychecks, I think. No, they've seen my pay stubs. I don't know if hookers get pay stubs. I mean, being a hooker is not a corporate job. You don't get a W-2 form for that at the end of the year, but you can't tell that to the stupid, perving lowlife Oleg Aleseyev and the stupid, perving lowlife Robert McLean, who hate women. They all hate women. According to them, if you don't provide them with sexual favors and you're single, then you're a horrible person and you should be harassed as if you're a hooker. So then they just tell everyone you're a hooker. They just cut to the chase. So that's why I keep getting aggressively harassed by the involuntarily celibate, perving, creeping, sex offender, psycho trash, who they deliberately cram in large numbers in this building complex. They don't rent to these lowlifes because these lowlifes don't work. They don't pay rent. Somebody else is paying for their rent. This place is basically just a holding pen for a bunch of perving, creeping, filthy animals. I think the coast is clear. I hope. Yeah, this is me in my hooker shoes coming back from work at 11:30 p.m. because I'm a hooker. Oh, look, the light's on. Must be some perving, creeping, involuntarily celibate, sex offender, hate stalking reject hanging out in the entrance for no reason. Yep, so this is me in my hooker outfit, wearing my hooker shoes, coming back from work at 11:30 p.m. because I'm definitely a hooker. Check this out. Such a hot outfit, just sizzling. Caliente, woo. I can see why Robert McLean and Oleg Alexeyev of the Greenville Group think that I'm a hooker. Because if you're a single woman living alone and you come home dressed like this, you're absolutely a lady of the night for sure.